is the video lesson for collisions. The learning target for this lesson is, I am learning to describe whether an interaction between objects is elastic or inelastic. The success criteria for this lesson are, I can understand that an elastic collision between objects is one in which the initial kinetic energy of the system is equal to the final kinetic energy of the system. I can understand that in an elastic collision, the final kinetic energies of each of the objects within the system may be different from their initial kinetic energies. I can understand that an inelastic collision between objects is one in which the total kinetic energy of the system decreases. I can understand that in an inelastic collision, some of the initial kinetic energy is not restored to kinetic energy, but is transformed by non-conservative forces into other forms of energy. This might be sound energy, it might be fire, it might be any other types of energy that you can imagine in, say, a car crash. I can understand that in a perfectly inelastic collision, the objects stick together and move with the same velocity after the collision. So let's talk about different types of collisions. So first let's talk about inelastic collisions. So there are perfectly or completely inelastic collisions, there are explosions, and there are elastic collisions. We'll get into each one of these in detail. So in inelastic collisions, we have inelastic collision, where momentum is conserved, kinetic energy is lost. In a perfectly or completely inelastic collision, the objects stick together after impact. So this is like in our lab that we did with collisions, where the two carts stuck together because of the Velcro. So one of them was stationary and one of them was in motion. They hit each other and they stuck together and they traveled together after they hit each other. Another example of this might be a really bad car accident where the two cars get stuck together after the accident and they travel together. So the objects have the same velocity after they collide. That's a key part of an inelastic collision. The equation for an inelastic collision is so this is a conservation of momentum equation. It's just been modified to reflect that it's an inelastic collision. So we have the mass of object 1 times the initial velocity of object 1 plus the mass of object 2 times the initial velocity of object 2, and that's equal to the two masses together, so the sum of the two masses times the new velocity. Okay, so we've got an example problem where perfectly inelastic collisions. So we've got an 80-kilogram football player, stands on a frictionless lake of ice. He catches a 0.4-kilogram football thrown at 28 meters per second. How fast is the receiver moving after the catch? How fast is the receiver moving? Okay, so for a perfectly inelastic collision, we have the equation m1 v1 naught plus m2 v2 naught is equal to the combined masses m1 plus m2 times the new velocity v. So our velocity of the football player initially is 0. He stands on a frictionless lake of ice. So we have 0 velocity to begin with for the football player. So we just have 80. So the football is 0.4 kilograms thrown at 28 meters per second. And that's equal to the combined masses of the football player and the football times our velocity, which is what we're trying to figure out. Okay, so 0.4 times 28 is 11.2 kilograms meters per second, and that's equal to 80.4 kilograms times v. So divide both sides by 80.4 kilograms, and we end up with a velocity of 0.14 meters per second. So the football player won't be moving very fast, but he'll be moving just a little bit once he catches that football. Another type of collision is called an explosion. So we have two objects that start together. They have the same initial velocity. It's called an explosion. Kinetic energy is gained in an explosion. So our equation for an explosion is m1 plus m2 because the objects start together. They have an initial velocity v0. And after the explosion, we have the mass 1 has its own velocity v1, and mass 2 has its own velocity v2. So we have the example here of a pistol. The bullet is inside the pistol, so the masses are combined. When you fire the gun has a recoil velocity. That's the m2 or m1 times v1. And then the bullet has a mass, m2, and it has a velocity going in the other direction. That would be v2. So there's all kinds of examples of explosions. The gun and the bullet is one common one. We did an explosion in the Momentum and Collision Lab where the two carts were stuck together, and then you hit the button and the plunger explodes them apart. All right, so in this explosion problem, we have a 2-gram balloon initially at rest is filled with 0.9 grams of air. When the mouth of the balloon is released, the balloon flies forward at 4 meters per second. And we want to know what is the velocity of the air leaving the balloon. So we've got our balloon filled with air. So this is mass 1, that's the mass of the balloon, and mass 2 is the velocity of the air, or the mass of the air. And then we have the balloon flying away, velocity 1 in this direction, and the air going in this direction, velocity 2. All right, so for the equation for conservation of momentum for an explosion, we start with m1 plus m2 together times the initial velocity, because they have the same velocity since the masses start together. And that's equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. Okay, so the velocity and the initial velocity for the balloon is 0 because it's at rest. So we have 0 is equal to our mass 1, which is 0.002 kilograms, times the velocity of the balloon, which is 4 meters per second, plus the mass of the air. So that's 0.9 grams. So we got to move the decimal place over 4. So we have 0.0009, that's kilograms, times our V2. So we don't know what V2 is. So 0.002 times 4 is 0.008 kilogram meters per second, plus 0.0009 kilograms times V2. That's all equal to 0. So move one of these over to the left side, it doesn't matter which. So we'll say minus 0.0, actually let's move, 0.08 kilogram meters per second is equal to 0.0009 kilograms times V2. So divide both sides by 0.0009 kilograms, and we end up with V2 is equal to minus 8.89 meters per second. So the air is escaping the balloon at minus 8.89 meters per second, which means it's moving in the opposite direction that the balloon is. So the final type of collision is an elastic collision. We have the example of the pool balls clacking against each other. So in an elastic collision, momentum is conserved and kinetic energy is conserved. So here we have our original conservation of momentum equation, m1 times the initial velocity of 1 plus m2 times the initial velocity of 2 is equal to m1 times the final velocity of 1 plus m2 times the final velocity of 2. And we have this additional equation which we can use to confirm that a collision was in fact elastic. The initial velocity of 1 plus the initial velocity of 2 equals the initial velocity, the initial velocity of 1 plus the final velocity of 1 plus the initial velocity of 2 plus the final velocity of 2. So if the velocities of 1 before and after the collision equal the sum of the velocities of the object of the second object, then it was an elastic collision. Another way to confirm whether or not a collision was elastic is to look at the change of kinetic energy. If the change of kinetic energy before the explosion or before the collision and after the collision is equal to 0, then you have an elastic collision. Okay, and we have one more example problem for elastic collision. So we have a 0.17 kilogram cue ball moving at 3 meters per second, collides elastically with a 0.17 kilogram 8 ball. What are the velocities of the cue ball and the 8 ball after the collision? Okay, since this is an elastic collision and we're only given one velocity, we have to do some tricky figuring here. So, first thing we're going to do is look at the equation for conservation of momentum. So we have m1 v1 naught plus m2 v2 naught is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. All right, now we know that the 8 ball is at rest. So m2 v2 naught is 0. So we have m1 v1 naught is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. We also have another equation that we can use for elastic collisions, and that is that v1 naught plus v1 is equal to v2 naught plus v2. All right, we're going to solve this as a system of equations. We've got two unknown variables, v1 and v2, and we have two equations. So first, let's write down what we have. So mass 1 is 0.17 kilograms times v1 naught is 3 meters per second. And that's equal to mass 1 is 0.17 kilograms times v1, which we don't know, plus mass 2 is 0.17 kilograms times v2, which we don't know. Then if we look at our second equation, which is this equation, we have v1 naught plus v1 is equal to v2 naught plus v2. So we know that v2 naught is 0. So this equation becomes v1 naught plus v1 is equal to v2. So we can plug this equation, or we can substitute our v2, our v1 naught plus v1 into wherever we have v2. So v1 naught is 3 meters per second plus v1, that's equal to v2. So we can substitute this in for our v2. So we have, this is 0.51 kilogram meters per second is equal to, this becomes 0.17 kilograms times v1 plus, then this is 3 meters per second plus v1, and that's all times that 0.17 kilograms. So 0.51 kilogram meters per second equals, then I can distribute this 0.71 kilograms. So we have 0.17 kilograms times, there's two v2s here, so this should be, you can do some algebra and distributing at the same time. So we have 2 times v2, so times 0.17, so that would be 0.34 kilograms times v2 plus this 0.51 kilogram meters per second. So subtract 0.51, oh, that should be V1, sorry, not V2. So subtract 0.51 kilogram meters per second from both sides, from the right side to the left side, and we end up with 0 is equal to 0.34 kilogram times V1. So V1 is equal to 0 meters per second. Okay, so the velocity of V1 is 0. So now we can plug in our V1 into this equation and figure out what our V2 is. So if I rewrite this equation, we have V1 naught plus V1 is equal to V2. So V1 naught we know is 3 meters per second. V1 naught we know now is 0 plus 0 meters per second, or V1, not V1 naught, sorry, is equal to V1, V2 naught is 0, so that's equal to V2. So V2 is equal to 3 meters per second. So the cue ball moving at 3 meters per second collides elastically with the 0.17 kilogram 8 ball. So when the cue ball collides with the 8 ball, the cue ball stops. It has a final velocity of 0 meters per second. And then the cue ball goes off in the same direction that the 8 ball or the cue ball was moving at. The 8 ball moves off in that same direction that the cue ball was moving with the same velocity that the cue ball had, and the cue ball stops. Okay, so what have we learned in this lesson? We learned about elastic collisions. So momentum and kinetic energy are both conserved in an elastic collision. We learned about inelastic collisions. So momentum is conserved, but kinetic energy is lost in an inelastic collision. And these are the most common type of collisions that we're going to deal with. And then we have perfectly inelastic collisions. And in a perfectly inelastic collision, the object sticks together and have the same final velocity. Kinetic energy is lost, but momentum is conserved. All right, thanks everyone.